welcome to Stan the Wine Man TV. I am your host, Stan Rattan, and this is the Blue Collar Wine Show, where I help you spend your wine dollars wisely. It's summertime, we all know that, and you barbecue a lot, you have wine on the deck, so we're going to do some Italian wines, simply because I think, Italian reds are great hamburger wines. You have a blue cheese hamburger, or even a steak, or whatever you're having. I think that red wines from Tuscany are excellent. Of course, there's a lot of great Italian white wines. Italy is an amazing wine country. They have like 3,000 grape varietals there, and it would take probably one of the toughest parts of a somm exam would be identifying a lot of Italian wine varietal grapes. I just wanted to mention real quick, I was in the store working the other day, and of course, now I haven't put up an episode for a little over a week and a half, maybe close to 2 weeks, and I just want to give a simple, quick explanation. It's the 4th of July. This is a tourist destination spot. Very, very intense time at work, and it takes a lot of effort. We bring in a lot of wine. We sell a lot of wine. We sell a lot of everything there, and it's just been really intense, and I haven't had, my schedule hasn't worked out to be able to shoot a quality video. I don't just want to put out junk, I want to put out good stuff. So now I have the time to do that, so here I am. Thank you for watching. Somebody came in the store the other day and it made me feel really good. He said he'd been watching my videos, he really enjoys them, and that makes me feel good. I really appreciate the support that I get in watching these videos. And I hope, more than anything, I hope you're learning something, and on top of that, I hope I help you to find good wines for the money. Let's get started right away. I'm going to start with a Vermentino. Now, Vermentino is an interesting grape, primarily grown in Sardinia, which is an island off of Italy. In fact, almost half of Vermentino is grown in that area. They even have a DOC, or an appellation, to make it easier, that is named after the Vermentino grape. Vermentino, you might compare it to Albariño, you might compare it to Gruner Veltliner, Sauvignon Blanc. It's kind of in that same arena, lighter on its feet, good acidity. Thing that's cool about Vermentino that I like is that because it's grown in warmer, and when it is grown in warmer climates near the ocean, it gets a saline quality to it that is really cool. Vermentino can be done in 2 ways. Of course, it can be done fermented with higher acidity, or some winemakers like to have it go through malolactic fermentation, where they turn the mallow acid, which is more like a green apple, into the lactic acid, which is more like milk. Excuse me. This is actually from Maremma, which is west of Tuscany, and it's an area where the most famous, probably DOCG, is Bulgari. A lot of great red wines come out of this region. Sassicaia did a lot of stuff in Maremma, as well as Gaia came down and did some things in Maremma. So Maremma is sort of the off the beaten path of Tuscany, more famous areas like Chianti and Montepulciano, but Maremma has come out with some stellar wines at some very good prices, and some of my favorite wines are from Bulgaria, my reds are from Bulgaria. So Maremma is that area along the Mediterranean coast. They get it's a very clay sand soil, so very poor soil, which is what Vermentino thrives in, of course. This is the 2016 Calisol Vermentino from Rocco di Montemassi. Hope I didn't butcher that too much. This runs in at $15. There you go. Okay, let's see what we get on the nose. I mean, immediately I get peaches. That's the first thing that hit my nose, with peaches. Very like stainless steel peaches, like you cut up a bunch of fresh peaches and threw them in a stainless steel vat and the juices just sat there. That's what I'm getting. get a little bit of almond notes coming through. That's about it. Let's see what we get on the palate. Cool thing about Vermentino is it's not very well known, so a lot of times you get some very good deals on Vermentino, especially quality Vermentino, which I'm going to put this one in the quality Vermentino region. 15 bucks. Has very, very delicate on the palate, but you can taste that kind of slight saline component coming through. You get peaches for sure, a little bit of grapefruit pith coming through right on the backside. Good balance in the mouth. It's not highly acidic, not like, let's say, I'm losing it, Sancerre from the Loire Valley. Maybe even not as acidic as a Sauvignon Blanc from New Zealand. This reminds me more of Sauv Blanc, maybe from Washington State, California. As far as the acid level goes, not cutting the tongue. It's there, it's fresh, it's good. A lot of peaches coming through, a lot of peach notes, a little bit of white flour, a little bit of melon, maybe honeydew melon coming through, maybe cassava. Almost has a creaminess, but it's not, it doesn't quite go creamy because it has that kind of balance of acidity. A little bit of green apple coming through right on the backside. This is just I mean, you could fish tacos all day, halibut. You could do a ton of things with this wine. You could have some pork with it. Crab would be fine. That sort of thing would be great with this wine. Very soft, but interesting. Has some layers to it. Just a little bit of like a crushed rock, wet stone element coming through. Nice long finish. You get that grapefruit pith kind of comes through right on the back end of this wine. Great wine. I like it a lot. $15 is a steal. I could drink this all by itself. In other words, sit on the couch and just kind of enjoy it. It certainly would be great with food. If you're doing some shrimp or something, you're eating some clams, this would be wonderful, that saline component coming through. I'm going to go B+, A- on this. I think this is a fantastic wine, and I'm going to reach out and see where I can find this. I don't have it at the store yet, just letting you know that, but I'm definitely going to seek it out because that is a very well-priced, well-made, complex, delicious Vermentino. Great, great summer wine. Let's move on. This is the Le Focaille, I hope I say that right, from Rocco di Montemassi, so same producer. This is a 2016 red. It's actually a Sangiovese from Maremma, Toscana. Just a little bit on Maremma, Toscana is kind of like, let's say the Central Coast in California, which is a big, vast area, not a specific area in the Central Coast. Or like saying Columbia Valley in the state of Washington, where there's very specific appellations in that large appellation. So they're covering all of Maremma by calling it Maremma Toscano. This is Sangiovese, rolls in at $15. So this producer is sticking to that price point. Now Sangiovese just, you know, we all think of spaghetti when you're thinking of Chianti or Sangiovese, but you know, hamburgers are fantastic, or especially if you're barbecue chicken or anything like that. I often think of Sangiovese because it's just it has that good acidity, that nice lightness, that good quality that goes with those types of foods. Let's see what we get on the nose. Oh, I want to show you it. Ha! Silly boy. There you go. I've had these wines for a little bit. I've been excited to try them. thought this would be the great time to do that. Love the nose on this. You get that dirt coming through, which is typical old world. It's getting the dirt nose, you know, a little bit of cherries thrown in there, and yeah, dirt and cherries, maybe a little bit of bark, like old bark, you know what I mean, like dried bark that you'd find on the forest floor. You pick it up. Just has that classic old world, a little bit of rust thrown in there. You know what I mean? You've smelled these wines before. You just like it when you get an old world wine like this from Maremma, from in Tuscany, and you get that old world smell. You just love it. Let's see what we get on the palate. Yeah, blue cheese hamburgers all day. Black olive, dark cherries, a little bit of rust. The dirt is coming through on this one. Now I'm not talking about throwing dirt in your mouth. You just get that sense of the dirt. Don't be afraid of that in the wine world. You know, you get fancy forest floor, you know, earthy components. It's savory, it's dirty, but it's delicious at the same time. You know, the rust element coming through, it is old world with enough fruit, I believe, to keep those guys that like that new world stuff, new world wines, keep them interested. Nice backbone of acidity, keeps it, you know, structured in the mouth. I like that dark cherry mixed with earth thing, dirt coming through, with just a kiss of rust, and that black olive, maybe a little bit of tobacco coming through, and it kind of hangs on the palate. I just need a hamburger. I just need a chunk of meat. I need something with this wine. But at the same time, you could have barbecue chicken with this, because the acids aren't so high, and yeah, and it's not so intense and big and overpowering that it would it would overshadow those types of foods, is what I'm trying to say. No, this is a great bottle of wine. I like it a lot. I'm actually very impressed. Once again, I don't have it at the store, but I'm going to seek it out, because I'm very interested in this wine. For $15, this is a really good value. I even got a little, even got a little blueberry, and there's a touch of citrus on the back side of this as well, which is very interesting. Now this wine has got a lot of things going on, savory, old world, but enough, you know, fruit there to keep everybody interested. It doesn't go totally dirty, but it has those things you expect from an old world wine. Yeah, I'm gonna go BB plus with this wine. I think it's very good, good value. Once again, I would seek it out for that money. Now, last but certainly not least, I gotta get this right. Okay, excuse me. The Il Palagio Roxanne Toscana, Toscana Red. This is rolls in at $13 US. 2016 is the vintage, and this is the police sting and his wife's project, and so I'm very interested to try this. I'm always kind of prejudiced, that's the wrong word. I don't judge a wine by the ownership. I mean, I know, that famous song, Roxanne, why don't you turn off the red light? That Sting sang with the police. This is a Merlot Syrah blend. And so they can't, you wouldn't call it a Chianti because that has been primarily Sangiovese. But like the Maremma area, this Toscana covers a big area, so you don't have to go specifically to a region like Chianti or Maremma or Bulgaria or anything like that. You just call it Toscana Red, covers all those areas. I guess Sting is a huge wine aficionado, loves it. He got involved in it, bought an estate in Italy, and is growing grapes and making wine. That's pretty cool. Anyway, let's see what we get on the nose. So just like this one, this is a little lighter on the nose, but it still has that earthy, dirty element coming through. I definitely get kind of the bacon fat from the Syrahs is evident there. I get some currants coming through. A little bit of licorice, which is interesting, and tobacco. Let's see what we get on the palate. Definitely a more user-friendly red. I could see this being a little more popular than the one I tasted before because it has more fruit. It has currants, licorice, lots of licorice, which I think is kind of cool. I like it. Don't get me wrong. There's some wine guys out there that kind of get all snotty when the Italian wine doesn't have all of those old world characteristics. I get excited about old world, but I love new world wines, and I don't mind if old world kind of sneaks in and tries to nab a little, pull a little old, new world into it. Because it still has the earthiness underneath. It's still savory, but it has more fruit, which, sometimes if you want to sell wine, you have to do that. But I'm not saying that that's his motive necessarily, or their motive, but it definitely has more fruit to it. Smooth tannins. I just get a little bit of kind of leather grippy action on the backside. Good weight in the mouth. Solid wine. Doesn't go over the top. It's nicely balanced. I like it a lot. The tobacco kind of lingers on the backside. I like this wine. I think it's $13, which is a fair price. This is a wine you could break out at a party. You could talk about Sting and his efforts in the wine world and what he's doing. You can put on a Police CD and listen to him, or turn on your your Bluetooth and listen to Sting and listen to his band and talk about that. Listen to Roxanne and talk about this wine. This is like a party wine. I mean, you could just sit and this is a quaffer a little bit. I'm not being negative in that fact. You can sit there and enjoy this wine. Like I could go and watch his golf tournament that's on TV and just enjoy this. But that being said, it also go with well with steak. It would go well with chicken. It would go well with a lot of things. It's a good food wine as well. I just think it leans more towards, like this term we use now is cocktail wine. I don't like that. I always have wine and food together, but I do sit and drink wine all by itself, like a cocktail, and this is one of those wines. In fact, I like on the back end, the currants kind of mixed with dark cherries. It's still there, which is a really good thing. For $13, this is a good play. If I had anything negative to say at all, it thins out a little bit on the back of the mid palate, but hardly anything to worry about. I'm going to go straight up B. I think it's a solid wine, $13, good deal. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Just hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell if you want to know when a video is coming out. Hook up with me on Twitter at Stan the Wine Man or Instagram Stan the Wine Man. You keep watching, and I'll keep helping you spend your wine dollars wisely.